Discover your new Hyundai right now at CMA's Colonial Hyundai. Like the 2024 Hyundai Elantra, lease for $255 per month for 36 months. Now during Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, visit us today at CMA's Colonial Hyundai. The search is over.
Fresh kicks, cutting edge facts.
Okay. All right. So I guess you guys just want me to go ahead and start the show. I guess you guys can hear me. Shout out to everyone that's in the building. Shout out to everyone that's coming through. If you are in the building, do me a favor and hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button if you are here. You can hear me. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Like and share today's show. Like and share today's show. It's an informational show. Today, this is an important topic that we need to speak on, as usual, like we do over here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. And of course, it ties into the current conversation that we've been having. So I definitely wanted to share this information with you guys. I won't be long today, but shout out to everyone. Salute to everyone that's coming through. Like and share today's show. Like and share the show, y'all. Like and share the show. We need to get this information out. Share it on your Instagrams, share it on your Facebooks, your Twitters, your YouTube community boards. Share today's show, man. It's very much appreciated. Shout out to everyone that's in the building. Salute to all the visionaries. Shout out to my lovely lady mods. I decided to not be on camera today, but we definitely got a great show. Shout out to everyone. I'm gonna shout everyone out in the chat, and then we gonna get right into it. Shout out to Miss Country Girl Queena on the pull up. She says, salute Sheep Stay Sleep TV and visionaries. Just got home from work. I'll be listening in. Shout out to you, Miss Queena. I appreciate you always coming through and holding it down. One of my lovely lady moms that always come through and show support and make sure we are good over here. So shout out to you, Miss Queen. I appreciate you as always. Salute. Akachi, what's good, Akachi? I ain't see you in a minute. What's going on? Shout out to Cuzzo in the building. Salute to Jeff Reviews. Salute, Cuzzo. Shout out to Seth's son in the building. Peace, families. Peace. Shout out to everyone that's in the cloud. Salute to everyone that's coming through. Like I said, hit the like button on the way in. Hit the like button on the way in. And before we get into the show, just give y'all a quick update on what's going on. This is officially my third semester in school. So they got me taking, I guess, what we like to call filler courses, where they're giving me a math class and an English class. But, this is definitely the third semester. So I'm almost halfway through my first year back in school, almost halfway through, because each semester is 5 weeks. So this is actually my third semester, and this semester I'm in my third week of my third semester. So this semester is getting ready to end. These classes are getting ready to end soon. So definitely gonna make sure we get through that. I'll definitely keep y'all posted on that. As y'all know, last semester was a little rough. We had a few rough patches, a few setbacks, but we got through it. We definitely passed both classes, so we still on we still on the roll. We still on the roll. So I just wanted to give y'all that quick update. You know, shout out to everyone who came through to yesterday's show. Shout out to everyone who showed support. Shout out to everyone who hit the Cash App and who just came through and showed love, man. Make sure y'all catch yesterday's show if y'all haven't. Make sure y'all catch yesterday's show if y'all haven't. Shout out to everyone that's in the building. Shout out to my man, Mr. D, on a pull-up. Salute, salute, salute. Shout out to my man, Astro, in the building. What's good, Astro? Salute, salute. Hey, Miss Camille, good to see you, love. Good to see you. Good to see you. So we 2 for 2 today on our lovely lady Mod. Shout out to you, sweetheart. You always coming through and making sure I'm good. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Shout out to Miss Camille in the building. Shout out to everyone that's in the building, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all see today's show. Y'all see today's show. Tennessee stands on business. Y'all see it right there. Today we're going to have a little political discussion. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. You know, politics isn't my strong suit because I don't really study it, but I understand it. I understand it. So we're going to get into that today. And y'all see on y'all screen, it says Governor Lee signs legislation that allows the death penalty for child rape cases in Tennessee. Now, I know y'all probably wondering why I'm doing this show. And it's because, as y'all know, we've been speaking on Africa Bambaataa and Bee Stinger and how he just came out and retracted his child rape story about Africa Bambaataa. And how he's also going on a closure tour where he's discounting all of the other people who has came out about Bambaataa and saying that they're lying because he was lying. So when I found this article, when this article came across my phone, because I do get news on my phone, and I said, we have to talk about this because on one hand, you have Bam, which we know Bam and all of those dudes are Democrats and part of the Biden administration, right? Where they're actually trying to get being a Pdfiles legalized, when they're trying to blur the lines where victims can give consent and when they can't give consent. And they're using this whole Ronald Savage closure tour as some type of proof that Bam is not a Pdfiles. You see? Just like we understand that the same Democratic Party is the ones who legalized all of the things for the LGBTQIA plus community. Because see, as you can see here in Tennessee, Governor Lee is a what? He's a conservative. He's a Republican. He's a conservative. He's not a liberal. He doesn't want predators to be able to run around in society freely. because their liberties feels suppressed because they can go to jail for acting on their desires for children. See, we're going to talk about this today. And like I said, y'all know, I don't really do the politics talk, but we have to talk about this today. We have to. Hey, Miss L'Oreal, how you doing? Shout out to Miss L'Oreal in the building. Another one of my lovely lady moms that always come through and hold it down. We are 3 for 3 today. Shout out to you, Miss L'Oreal. Salute, Elisino. Salute, champion. Shout out to the OG. Salute to you. Shout out to Self University in the building. Salute, salute, salute. We have to talk about this. And we're going to get into the article as well. But this is a political issue. And it's no longer a secret that our rappers are into politics. They're used by the politicians to get us to vote. Should we revisit some of these campaigns? Should we revisit some of these campaigns? Should we revisit some of these marketing campaigns that were used to promote certain candidates, presidential candidates, to be specific? So when I'm speaking on Bambaataa and the system using him to add another letter to the LGBTQIA plus community, the letter that they always wanted to add, why wouldn't they use the culture that basically runs the world, hip hop culture, to do it? See, that shouldn't sound too far-fetched to anyone if y'all understand politics and how it works. You see? And yes, it sounds sick, but it's a reality. It's a reality, y'all. And we need to talk about this. What up, 888? Shout out to 888 in the building. He says the Rainbow Club was always after the children. It's nothing new. And they're going to try to use our faces to push this mess. Absolutely. Shout out to 888 in the building. Absolutely. And this is why we need to have these conversations, because I know we grew up loving hip hop. I'm not talking about the reality show, but I know we grew up loving hip hop, loving hip hop culture, and what we remember it as. But now that we are where we are in our lives and things are going on in society, we have to pay attention to what's right in front of us. We cannot sit here and act like Mayor Adams just giving Fat Joe, who's a member of the Zulu Nation. Remember, we just did the first family hip hop stream, the first gay family of hip hop. And shout out to Layla Wills for sharing that stream. Shout out to you. Right? We went right to Google and read all of the people that they have just on Google who are members of the Universal Zulu Nation. Fat Joe was on that list. Remember, I showed y'all this. So there's a member of the Zulu Nation who denied. Remember, Fat Joe has always denied that Bambaataa did anything. He always said it wasn't true. Just like KRS-One always said it wasn't true. Right? They just gave Fat Joe the key to the city. Why would they give Fat Joe the key to the city? Do y'all understand what having a key to a city means? Do y'all understand what having a key to a city means? I don't think y'all do. I don't think y'all do. You see? So, this is why this conversation is necessary, because it's a political issue. See, if you remember, if you are against a lot of the atrocities that has happened within families and things of that nature, technically, right, if you understand the positions of each political party, technically, if you are for family, if you're definitely for the nuclear family, if you're for employment and all of that type of stuff, and America being a safe place for you and your children and their children in the future, technically you are a Republican. You are a conservative. If you are against your children being read books by transgenders, if you are against them putting this type of sexual stuff into the lesson plans where they're teaching our children that they can be whatever they say they are. See, if you are against these types of things, you are not a Democrat just by your position. Now, whether you are for Trump or not, you are for the Republican Party. You are technically a conservative. I'm sorry to tell you, but that's what you are. You're a conservative. Tennessee, conservative. And what Governor Lee signed into legislation, you see it right here on your screen. He signed something into legislation that the majority of men has always wanted to happen to predators. The majority of men has said, if a predator hurts somebody I love, I'm want to delete him. I want him deleted. So guess what, fellas? In Tennessee, you don't even have to do it. You don't have to worry about no police or anything. Just send his ass to prison and they'll delete him. You see? And this is a direct attack on them trying to legalize the P for the LGBTQ plus IA, the LGBTQIA plus community. And we know the majority of the people who are part of that community are Democrats. They're liberals. They're liberals. That's why they fought so hard to have the rights that they have now. They fought to be able to walk in the street and have, two men kissing each other. They fought for that. They fought and they proved that is part of their civil liberties. You got to understand what being a liberal is about. See, this is why here on YouTube, for the past couple of years, we've been having this conversation about modern versus traditional. Does the modern family work? I mean, does the traditional family work? We don't like traditional men. Traditional women are played out. No one wants a traditional woman. All of these conversations are political conversations, whether y'all know it or not. So all of this modern versus traditional stuff is liberal versus conservatives. You see? Because the conservatives are usually what? Traditional. I should be able, as a man, to have my family and be able to go out and work and provide for my family and be able to take care of my family and save money and be able to go on vacations and all of that. I should be able to do that here, as an American citizen. As a United States American citizen, I should be able to do this. My child should not have to go to school and worry about seeing any of this crap. And then you have the people with the modern perspective where they're saying, well, why don't we try something new? Why can't we, why this can't be the norm? Why does it have to be a secret? Why can't we make the things that we used to hide normal? You see? Because no one has a problem with who anybody wants to be with, but you don't have to go around and make it a point that this is how the world should be. Because the world was fine without that shit. The world was fine when y'all kept it to yourselves. Y'all don't see how things has gotten worse since all of this liberal stuff has been allowed. Y'all not seeing how society is getting worse. Y'all don't see how dating is messed up. All of this stuff is messed up because of this modern liberal mentality. Oh, we're not going to do what worked. We're going to do something else. We're going to mess up and then blame the people who made it work before to say, well, that doesn't work now, so we don't know what to do. See, this is the liberal modern mentality, which is destroying society. Society is eroding because of this mentality, because of this liberal shit. Shout out to my brother Papa Flock in the building. Salute, my brother. Salute. What up, Akuma? Big Cap in the building. What's good, Big Cap? You see? And if you have children and you want society to be suitable for your children to thrive in, you got to get off that liberal stuff. You see? Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to now create, well, they've already done it with the whole LGBTQ community, where now they're trying to legalize people fetishes because of the whole liberalism idea. This whole ideology behind liberalism is this community trying to legalize Pdfiles, because Pdfiles, what? They have a fetish. Pay attention. They have a fetish. And if we are in a liberal society, I have the right, it is my civil liberty to fetish whatever I want. And it should be legal for me to get it. See, y'all hear this? But this is how that whole community got started. Yeah, you see how, and that's how they tied in gay rights with civil rights. You see, because they made the argument of their civil liberties being violated. You see? Civil liberties, liberalism. I should be able to practice what I want out in the open. You see? If this man could be out in the open and be accepted with his wife and his children as a heterosexual man, why can't I, as a gay man, come out in society with my family and its two fathers? Or it's a father and then the other man is a trans. Why can't we do that? Why can't that be seen as a nuclear family as well? See, this is the stuff they were arguing about, y'all. You see? And all this whole conversation that we having, it all ties into the whole relationship pieces that we have, conversations that we have right here on YouTube. Why do you think when you watch a lot of dating content on the internet now, the 20v1s and all of these little dating content that people like to review, you're starting to see more trans? Because they're a part of the conversation. You have to now put them in the relationship piece. You see? See, y'all got to understand how this stuff works. This is why we have to have these conversations. You see? So let's get into this article. Because like I said, I'm not going to be too long today. Let's get into this article. And shout out to Governor Lee, man. It's Akuma says, a nuclear family is a simple equation. Man plus woman equals child. It's like 2 plus 2. Absolutely. But remember, traditionally, everything was what? Simple. Simple. And now today, Akuma, you have people who are against simplicity. They're against traditional things, the things that worked. So this is why they come in with all of this modern talk, the modern woman, the modern man, the modern family. This is that liberalism shit, which is all Democratic. Biden administration. It's all Democratic. The Democrats is the ones who got the trans in your children's school reading to him, and he 5 years old. He got a trans teacher reading to him. The Democrats are doing this. Liberalism. You can't be a conservative and be liberal. See? Because what does it mean to be conservative? When a woman dresses conservative, how does she look? She don't look like Glorilla. She don't look like Meg Thee Stallion. She looks like Claire Huxtable. She looks like Claire Huxtable. You see what I'm talking about? You see? So let's get into this article. It's Akuma says, I'd rather be timeless, man. Me too. Good afternoon, NICU grad. More like the Obama administration. Same thing. Isn't it the same thing, NICU grad? Isn't it the same thing? Isn't it an extension? Isn't it an extension? Let's get into this article. Let me share my screen. Hold up, y'all. There we go. Shout out to everybody in the building, by the way. If you are here, hit the like button, hit the share button. Hit the like button, hit the share button. As y'all can see here, Tennessee authorizes death penalty for child sexual assault in direct challenge to Supreme Court precedent. This article is on May 17th, 2024 of this year. It was updated on June 10th. So it says here, on May 9th, Governor Bill Lee of Tennessee signed a bill authorizing the death penalty for aggravated rape of a child, following Florida's passage of a similar law last year. So Florida passed a similar law, y'all. Florida passed a similar law. Both laws contradict long-standing Supreme Court precedent holding the death penalty unconstitutional for non-homicide crimes. Let me read that again, because this is how they begin to try to fight against these laws that get passed and these bills that get signed. Both laws contradict long-standing Supreme Court precedent holding the death penalty unconstitutional for non-homicide crimes. So they're saying that this actually goes against a Supreme Court precedent saying that if a crime is non-violent or somebody wasn't deleted, then no person should go to death row or be sentenced to death. That's very important. That's very important, y'all. If y'all are in the building, make sure y'all like and share the show. Make sure y'all like and share the show. I appreciate everyone for stopping through today. Tennessee's law takes effect on July 1st. The state has had a death penalty moratorium in place since May 2022 after Governor Lee learned that state officials had failed to test execution drugs for bacterial contamination. He ordered a subsequent independent investigation, which found that the state had systemically failed to follow lethal injection protocols. Y'all hear that? Governor Lee did not release a statement upon signing the bill and has issued no recent updates on the status of the moratorium. The Supreme Court held in Coker versus Georgia 1977 that the use of the death penalty is disproportionate to the crime of rape, violating the Eighth Amendment's prohibition against cruel and unusual punishment. The court extended that ruling to child rape in Kennedy versus Louisiana in 2008, while the court emphasized the hurt and horror inflicted by perpetrators of child rape and the years of long anguish endured by the victim. The court noted that only a handful of states authorized the death penalty for child rape, and only 2 men in the entire country were on death row as a result, making the punishment unconstitutionally unusual for the crime. The court further noted the disproportionate nature of the punishment of death on a person who had not caused death, raising concerns about the incongruity between child sexual abuse and the harshness of the death penalty. Wow. That's I mean, what do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that so far? Y'all tell me, what do y'all think about that so far? Let me know. What do y'all think about that? Because they're basically trying to say that being that nobody died, the victim did not die, so the perpetrator shouldn't die. So even though some people go through their whole life scarred with what happened to them, some people even delete themselves, take their own lives years later, mess up their lives for years, and then end up dying due to a messed up lifestyle based on what happened to them. What do y'all think about that? Do y'all think, because this is why I'm doing this show too. Y'all see it in the title. Do y'all agree? Do y'all agree with the authorization of the death penalty for Pdfiles? Because they're saying that the crime isn't harsh enough for a perpetrator to die. Do y'all agree with that? Do y'all agree with that? I need to know. Let me look in the chat. Let me see. Akuma says, so So good on them for removing these PDF files. Exactly. NICU grad says, but mentally the victim did die. So they will never recover. I agree. I agree. Akuma says those children be dying inside. Exactly. So y'all agree with the authorization of the death penalty for these PDF files, because what the Supreme Court is trying to say is, being that nobody died, the person who inflicted the crime should not die. Triple H says an act like that removes the life of the person, yet they live and will always be damaged. Facts. I agree. I think that, well, let's continue. I'll give y'all my opinion at the end. Let's get back to the article. Let's finish reading the article. Shout out to everyone in the building too. Shout out to everyone. The court further noted the disproportionate nature of the punishment of death on a person who not had caused death, raising concerns about the incongruity between child sexual abuse and the harshness of the death penalty. When the law punishes by death, it risks its own sudden descent into brutality, transgression the constitutional commitment to decency and restraint the justices wrote. Wow, y'all see this? You see how all of this stuff is a fine line? Do y'all see this? Now I'm starting to understand why guys like Bam Bada and Malachi Z. York and all of them. I see how Malachi Z. York skated by for a long time. I see how Bam has skated for a long time. I see how, because it's a thin line between this stuff, man. And I agree with what y'all saying in the chat, because people's lives are being ruined. People's lives are being ruined, man. Akuma says, my girlfriend, when I was 13, her stepfather was one of those. Every time he came around, she wanted me to hide with her. I never understood why until I was grown. Wow. That's crazy. He was a monster. NICU grad says, someone tried when my sister was younger, and she still needed therapy just off of an attempt. Exactly. That's what I'm saying too, y'all. I'm glad y'all adding in. I'm glad y'all are speaking on this subject, because I totally agree. Because y'all can look it up, but they say out of every 10 women, at least out of 10, at least I'm not even gonna say I'm accurate, but they said at least out of 5 of them, 2 of them were raped, and the other 3 were attempts, and at least 2 of them out of that 3 were touched. And y'all can go and look it up and correct me if I'm wrong. So what you just said, NICU grad, is extremely important. And this is why I agree with them authorizing these dudes to get put to death, man, because this needs to start happening. Because there's more people in jail for sex crimes than homicides. You see, they always want to highlight, especially in the Black community, oh, what about all of these criminals? What about Pookie and Ray Ray? What about the drug dealers and the robbers and the thieves? But they never talk about the Bambadas. They never talk about the Brother Polites. They never talk about these PDF files. They never talk about how we need to remove them out of the black community. Y'all don't notice that? Y'all don't notice whenever they talk about something wrong with the black community, it's always drugs and crime, drugs and murder. You never hear them talk about the pimping that's going on. You don't hear them talking about the human trafficking that's going on. And you damn sure don't hear them talk about the grapists and all these goddamn child molesters. That's never brought up. About them being cleaned up out of the black community, them being cleaned up out of the black family. All you hear people say online, oh, we need to stop selling drugs to each other. We need to stop shooting each other. Oh, but we don't need to stop inappropriately touching each other, right? We don't see what that's never brought up. That's never brought up. This is how guys like Bambaataa has been on a tirade for damn near 4 decades. This is how Malachi Z. York was running a cult for 30 years. A sex cult. This is how you got guys like Nature Boy running a sex cult and having a YouTube reality show. He turned his sex cult and turned on a goddamn camera for the world to see. Because we not focused on getting this shit out of our community. We talk about selling drugs. Oh, all black people want to do is sell drugs. That's all you niggas talk about. But you don't talk about these child molesters. See, that's never mentioned. Never. And this is how you got the father of hip hop, who's a legendary pederast. This nigga's damn near Catholic priest. All the boys he done touched. But we not talking about getting them out the black community. Why? Why? NICU Grad says black men say that they don't know any creeps. That's true. And they lying. That's true. And they're lying, NICU Grad. That's true. 888 says, to be fair, though, DS1, we are the least of the people who are Pdfiles. I would rather leave my kid with a strange black man than any other strange. Hey, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, 888. I love my people, but I know how my people could be too, because my people are people. You see? She said, I just looked it up. 1 in 4 black women have been raped, and half have experienced other forms of unwanted sexual contact. So it's 1 in 4. See? And half of them has had some unwanted sexual experiences before. 1 in 4. And that's for women. We ain't talking about the men, because you know the men are not talking about it. There's more men who are coming out about it now. But imagine how many men gonna never talk about it. Let's get back to the article. Critics have argued that such laws could further traumatize victims. Mary DiLiberto, executive director of Floridians for Alternatives to the Death Penalty, pointed out that 30% of child sex abuse victims are abused by family members, and 90% of victims know their abuser. You've got this whole dynamic where a child is going to bear the weight of a possible death sentence to a neighbor, an uncle, a grandfather, she said. Similarly, the court noted in Kennedy that it is not all evident that the child rape victim's hurt is lessened when the law permits the death of the perpetrator, as the death penalty cases require a long-term commitment by those who testify for the prosecution, and victims would rather relieve their trauma through law enforcement interviews and testimony for decades. The practice forces a moral choice on the child, who is not of mature age to make that choice, the court wrote. Wow. This is interesting. Let's continue. Shout out to everyone in the building. If you were in the building, make sure you like and share today's show. Make sure you support today's show as well. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the like button, hit the share button. There is also evidence that such laws increase the risk of wrongful execution. The Kennedy court discussed research showing children have a heightened susceptibility to suggestion or fabrication in law enforcement interviews. The National Registry for Exonerations has identified over 300 wrongful convictions involving child sex abuse. Governor DeSantis and Florida legislators designed their bill as an opportunity for the Supreme Court to overturn Kennedy. This bill sets up a procedure to be able to challenge that precedent. DeSantis said, Florida prosecutors announced their first case under the law in December. Some Tennessee legislators made the same argument. State Senator Janice Boland suggested that the atmosphere is different on the Supreme Court, and the bill's sponsors were simply challenging a ruling. Governor Lee denied signing the bill to test it in court. These efforts come amidst challenges at the Supreme Court to the evolving standards of decency test used in Kennedy and numerous landmark capital punishment cases. A pending death penalty case from Alabama challenging the test, Ham versus Smith, has been relisted by the court 14 times without I don't know that word, decision. And advocates recently appeared to sidestep a nearly identical challenge to the test in a case argued before the court in April. So that's the article. That's the article. And what up, Danny? Danny says, when I found out the booty warrior got a wife, I gave up on his country. Shout out to you, Danny. But as y'all heard in this article, it's really being fought hard to pass this stuff, man, because they're trying to say that to sentence a Pdfile to death is harsh. It's too harsh. It's too harsh because no one life was taken. It's too harsh. and it actually goes against the moral. You see how y'all see this stuff? You see how 1 minute people will say morals are subjective, right? Because morals are subjective in a liberal society. You see, morals are subjective if you live in a liberal society. Of course, morals are subjective. Of course, you can implement them when you want to. Of course, because if that wasn't the case, we wouldn't have same-sex legalized marriage. But then they want to make a moral argument about, well, isn't that too harsh? You know, he didn't delete anyone. Shouldn't we just lock him up for a certain amount of time so he can learn his lesson? I mean, the person is not dead. You know, there's things that they can do to get their life back on track. Y'all hear this? This is how they're arguing against this stuff. They're making a moral argument, and these people are not moral. The moral thing to do is to get these people out of society. Prison is not going to reform a PDF file. It's not. It never has. And then they're trying to say, well, it's that this is going to even be harsh on the victims because the victims have to know that now with them going through the whole process of testifying and going through this whole case and then knowing that this person is going to die, that can add more trauma to the victim. Do y'all hear this crap? Why y'all worried about that? Why y'all worried about that? Are y'all that concerned with the life of a PDF file? Why does the life of a PDF file is even considered the way it's being considered? You're making a moral argument for a PDF file. How do you do that? How do you do that? And then when you want to run around with your nuts out with your boyfriend, morals are subjective. See, this that liberalism, this that democratic shit that's destroying this country. You see? Because they're literally, see, what they're not saying is they want to make the argument that PDF files isn't that bad. They actually should have the right to run around and exercise their fetish for children. And with all the therapies and all of this stuff, the child will be okay. This is what these sick people are trying to employ. And all of this stuff is connected. Hip hop is connected to it. Bambaataa, B Stinger on his closure tour. B Stinger on his closure tour. And let me be honest. Remember when Hassan first came out, he came out and said that he didn't want Bam to go to jail. He just wanted Bam to step down from the Zulu Nation and say he was sorry. So, according to what we just read in the article, they have a point when they say that most of the people that this stuff happens to, they know their perpetrator, and it's usually a person who's close to them, and they feel that it will traumatize the victim further by knowing that their perpetrator died at the hands of what they said. This is why you have B. Stinger running around saying he don't care what nobody say about him. This is his closure tour. He ready to close this chapter in his life, and he ready to just enjoy the rest of his life however he choose to. He want to put all of this stuff to bed. Not realizing how we just set a 40-year pederast, perpetrator, and monster in the Black community free. Free. All because we don't like things traditional. We want things modern. See, y'all don't even know what y'all asking for. Because when they legalize that P in the LGBTQIA plus, when they add that P, see, then y'all gonna try to make a moral argument. Y'all gonna try to make a moral argument then. And you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. When you start, ladies, when you start having those men in the bathroom with y'all, see, ain't no turning it back then. Because you like things modern. You know, traditional was played out. It's bad to live a traditional life. All right. So now, when you in the club and you walk in there and Fleece Johnson walk out the stall, don't have nothing to complain about. Don't start marching, talking about how you don't feel safe. Because you got men in the bathroom with you. But he not a man. He identifies what you identify as. Huh? What you gonna say? Then you're gonna start calling for those traditional men, those conservative men. You know, those guys. Better be careful what you ask for. You just might get it. You just might get it. What up, T Church? Shout out to my guy, T Church, in the building. D Ski Valley, salute, family. He says any government, past or present, unfortunately, has always have casualties of the system implemented, probably want to not murder anybody to now that we have cameras on everything. Yep. Yep. Danny says the only reason people would argue against this law is to protect their friends and also prevent the execution of other rainbow behaviors. Absolutely. Absolutely. Into the P to the ABC soup. Yep. Absolutely. Shout out to Kwafi in the building. What up, Kwafi? Salute, fam. Deesky says PDF failure easily conquered if we can get two parents in the home. Usually the criminal dies or go to jail in that scenario. Facts. That's a fact. Queena says Daggone shame. Yep. But we don't, a lot of times we don't see it, Queena. We don't see it. Kwafi says, Deesky, true. But even when there's two parents in the home, they still don't pay fully attention to their kids. Too often, the boy up the street, a few years older, is, yeah, that's true. That's true. He's told to be quiet and can't tell his father. Yep. That's true, Kwafi. And I see you, Grass says, when my kids were younger, I was more worried about the men that target single moms to get at the kids. Absolutely. And that was something you should have, you should have been worried about. Because they have free reign. They'll have free reign. We all been told if we tell it, we're gonna be considered. Yep. Remember, hey Kwafi, remember I did the show about Saucy. Remember I did the Saucy Santana show, and that's what he was threatened with by his older cousin who was, touching him, who was a man, and turned Saucy Santana out. No disrespect, but that's what they told him. And they flipped it on him and tried to make him the blame. That's what they did to Saucy. I played the video where him and his mom was talking about it. Yeah. Queena says, I think they see it, just don't want to bring noise to the center of this mess. Facts, because a lot of people will be uncovered. Absolutely. Kwafi says, yup. So that goes to show you that no one knows what happens to people individually. Facts. And that also goes to show that nobody's born gay. It's a choice. It's a choice. And sometimes it can be a choice that's made out of a traumatic situation. And a lot of times, that's what that stuff usually comes out of, with men and women. It's not just the men, but with women too. And these are facts. These are facts. People need to tell their boys to sit down, just like they tell the little girls to cross their legs, because trust me, boys have shapes just like their mothers these days. See? And there's a lot of dudes who are looking at them in a predatory way. And this is why I wanted to do today's show, man, because just know, y'all, it's people out here that want to keep the family intact, that who really want to fix the whole family issue in America, because that's what we have a problem with here. It's the family dynamic. If we was to fix a lot of the turmoil that happens within the family, man, America will be great again. America will be great again. Trust and believe. Because when you hear people saying, I want to go overseas, I give up on them, I give up on the US. And why is it? It's usually because of what? I don't want to raise my family here. What do you hear guys saying? I can't find a good woman here to create a family with. What do you hear a lot of women saying? Something's wrong with the food here. I don't want to feed myself, my husband, and my children this food. So I want to move. It's a family issue. And again, I'm not promoting any candidates. I'm not promoting any candidates. But you do not hear Kamala Harris speaking about the family issue and the family dynamics in America. We only hear the Republican Party speaking about this. All you hear the Democrats saying is, we gonna give you niggas some money. See, they talking to niggas. They're not talking to black people. See, because if you're a black person, you know that they're gonna come collect that money on the back end. Just like all the money that they gave y'all during COVID. Some of y'all ain't get a goddamn tax check in how many years now? Going on 3? Let's just keep it 100. And like I said, I'm not promoting any candidate, but we got to be honest. we have to be honest here. A lot of people are becoming passport bros. They're becoming expats. They're leaving America because they're afraid of what's coming down the pipe for their children, for their children's children. Will my son be able to grow up and find a decent woman? Or is he going to have to choose from a goddamn whole pile of trans? Will the trans become the new woman? We gotta have these conversations. We have to talk this stuff out. This needs to be a concern for us. Will my daughter be able to find a decent man, or all the goddamn men gonna be women? So how I'm gonna have some grandkids when my goddamn son trying to duck the trannies and his sister trying to duck the trannies? It's a family issue. If you are a millennial and you had children young, God bless you. Because 9 times out of 10, you're going to have grandchildren. You're going to be able to see your grandkids. Real rap. We got to have this conversation, millennials. Because at the rate that this stuff is going, look at how they promoting no relationships. Just hook up. The hookup culture, dating, which ain't nothing but sex. Oh, he cool. Yeah, we was messing around. That's going to be the culture for our children. This is the stuff we have to be against. And we have to know on who we decide to vote for if they're going to be against this type of stuff, because this is the stuff that's destroying our family. So think about this stuff, man. What up, Bob? Bob says, I still don't have any as a old millennial. Sad. Hey, bro. Hey, man. You'll have one, bro. That just has to be a priority of yours. Make it a priority, bro. You don't make it a priority, it won't happen. Pray about it and then make it a priority. Pray and then prioritize. Kwafi says, DS1, did you see the Turtle Man having an interview about what happened to him on Zeus and on Zeus with Erica Mena? Nah, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Queena says, and you won't hear her speak on that. No. Bob says, my father's an expat. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being an expat. Remember, Bob, I always said that expats were different from passport bros. And a lot of your expats actually went overseas and actually went and found wives, and that was their whole purpose as expats. That's the purpose of being an expat. A lot of times it's so you can live overseas and travel and, have a family. And if you don't ever want to come back to America, you don't have to. Expats always have that choice, Deesky says, we going back to easy money again. These interest rates are killing the working class. They have to. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. That is a fact. Deesky says, big business have a cheap workforce here. That's who's behind this, and government who want more taxes. If our children don't get skills, that careers that move with inflation, they in trouble. That's true. That's true. And I think and this is just my opinion, that's what I think Trump is trying to do. Trump is trying to bring back our old industries that made America what it once was, to bring back the middle class. Because think about it, those plant jobs, those big factory jobs and all of that had black cities like Detroit, I think that's what Trump is trying to do. He's trying to find a way to that's why he was taxing the rich the way that he was. See, the Democrats want to continue to tax the poor. Trump was taxing the rich people. Everybody said Trump was giving the rich people money. Where? He was taxing them. He was taxing them. Because I believe, and this, like I said, this is just my opinion, Trump want to bring back the middle class, because the middle class is what held up America's economy. If you notice, the high class or the upper class never got touched because of the middle class upholding shit. The people who remember when we had a middle class, if you made $75,000 a year, you were considered middle class. If you made 80 grand, 90 grand, you were middle class. Now there is no middle class. Either you poor or you upper class. And upper class starts at $125,000 a year. Because remember, during COVID, you had people who made $100,000 a year who was getting help. You couldn't get them COVID checks if you made over $120. If you made $120 or less, you got a COVID check. So like I said, this is just my opinion on what I think Trump is trying to do. That's what he's trying to do. Everybody was saying, oh, he was just in there making his rich friends richer. No, he wasn't. Trump is a businessman. He also understands that he gonna have to grease everybody's palms. Even if he gonna look out for his rich friends gonna have to take some hits. This is business. You see? Trump is trying to make our money work for us, work for the people who uphold the economy, instead of treating them like goddamn slaves. Well, it's always going to be some form of that because economic slavery. But what I mean is basically working to goddamn go back to work. How many of us been doing that? And for the past how many years? Since all this COVID shit ended, people are working to go back to work. You buy a couple of dinners for a week or two, and your ass got enough money to go back to work. Come on, y'all. Y'all got to think about this stuff, man. Like I said, I'm not promoting anyone, but y'all just got to keep this stuff in mind, man. So when you have this conversation about these PDF files and getting them out of the community, this is a conservative issue. Any issues involving the family dynamic, how to restore the family dynamic and all of that, these are all conservative issues. These are all concerns of the Republicans, not of the Democrats. The Democrats look at our families as goddamn social security numbers, which is basically in the system account numbers. This is why Kamala Harris is just saying, hey, I'm going to give you niggas $6,000 if you have a kid. I'm going to give you $6,000 on your taxes. Because this is how she look at the black family. This is how Democrats look at families, period. And people who are involved in families. They don't use a moral compass. Everybody's a goddamn social security number, which is an account number. So let's just give these people some goddamn money so we can utilize them like we've been doing. When the conservatives are saying, no, let's give the people an opportunity to work for themselves and to build the economy the right way. Don't henpeck the people. The people don't want a handout. The people want to work. The people are complaining about the lack of jobs. They don't want to sit at home and you just give them thousands of dollars to sit at home and order fucking DoorDash. That's what the Democrats want to do. Hey, niggas, let us create some shit to kill you while you stay at home and play Roblox and eat McDonald's. That's what the Democrats are doing because they don't care about your children. They don't care about the goddamn education system because everybody in the goddamn education system is an account number. That's how they look at us. So they don't have a moral compass. They don't have a moral compass. Because if they did, they wouldn't allow transgenders to teach children. They wouldn't have whole goddamn transgender curriculums. See, that's a lack of morality. That's them socializing our children to not have a family, to not even consider making one. So why wouldn't they add the P to the community? Because then he has free reign to run around and do the demonic work to break up the family. Because we know what Pdfiles do. They break up families. They destroy families. Because they can't control their perversions. And then you got these liberals over here saying, well, hey, what's wrong with him having a fetish? He's not a pervert. That's his fetish. It's what's wrong with him liking what he likes? Remember when y'all used to say all that shit? Look where it has gotten us. Why he can't like what he like? Or what if he like your son? See, you ain't think about that. Nobody cares if a man like another man. But y'all done went to get to saying that, and look where it's at now. Because now that's what they're saying. I like what I like. And why can't I get what I like? This is why it's a part of the LGBTQIA plus community. You see why the Pdfile community is a part of it? Because it's all about a fetish. It's about a fetish. You're not born gay. You like some perverted shit. That's all. A lot of us do. The majority of us like some perverted shit we don't want nobody to know about. Perverse is perverse. Perverse doesn't mean homosexual all the time. It doesn't mean lesbian all the time. Perverse could be some other weird shit. You might like to watch animals. That's bestiality. That's perverse. You see, it's all perversion. But they're now legalizing predators on the behest of their fetishes that they're masking as civil liberties. Why he can't stand up and be proud that he like kids? See this shit? If he could be proud to be a black straight man, why I can't be a proud Pdfile? If he could be a proud gay man, why I can't be a proud Pdfile? You see what this shit is doing? See, y'all think this shit is a game. Y'all think this shit is a game. You see how this stuff works? When you get to agreeing to shit? What he like, what he like. You see what that done turned into? You see what that done turned into? Look where we at now, y'all. With this liberalism shit. With all this freedom talk. Look where we at in the world. They trying to legalize the predators who've destroyed so many goddamn families. Because why he can't like what he like? Huh? What make him different from any other goddamn pervert? That's what they trying to say, y'all. You ain't punish him for liking what he likes, so how you gonna punish me? You see? That's why it all's supposed to be wrong. That's why. That's why we're not supposed to make any concessions for any of it. Because it opens up the doors for other weirdos to say, well, what about me? What about us? How you gonna leave us out? They could do it. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. You see? That's why all is written down as wrong. That's why. That's why. You see? Because look at the doors that open up. And look at the people who walk out of them. Hey, I'm here. Pee Wee Herman. You see? Hey, it's me, Malachi York. It's me, Bambata. You see? It's me, Brother Polite. The man with 8 wives and was touching all their kids. You see? Y'all better start paying attention. Be careful what you agree to, man. Be careful what you agree to when you in your feelings. Because this is what be happening. This is what be happening. What up, Zuma? Shout out to my brother Zuma Doom in the building. Salute, bro. Zuma says, foreign earned income exclusion. Let's me make up to 120K tax-free abroad, and I live in a tax-free country. Now, I ain't never coming back. Exactly, bro. I don't blame you. Shout out to my brother Zuma Duma. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. The system here is bad. And we're not even just talking about the financial system, the system in general. Because we got to understand the system works, it interconnects with itself. It's not separate. Yep, it sure is. And I see you, Grad. It sure is. Kwafi says, like Young Miami, like getting urinated on. Now she's crying victim. Out there trying to, yep, because she tired of Hollywood. Now she want to play victim. Yep. And be against predators and all of that. Facts. And I see you, Grad says something about this year caused all the darkness to come to light. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So I want y'all to get down in the comment section and let me know, do you agree with Tennessee authorizing the death penalty for Pdfiles and trying to get that passed? Let me know what y'all think, man. I appreciate everyone for pulling up. If you enjoyed today's show, donate to the show, hit the like button, hit the share button. The Cash App is on the screen. $ DS100 Network, $ DS100 Network on Cash App. Shout out to everyone who has supported today's show. Much love. Shout out to my lovely lady mods for coming through and holding it down. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate you, Miss Queen. I appreciate you. And shout out to my lovely lady mods that participated today. I appreciate y'all. Salute to y'all. Salute, salute, salute. We will be back tomorrow with another show. Y'all stay tuned. Y'all stay tuned. Thank you so much. Miss L'Oreal, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Shout out to all the visionaries, man. Don't forget, man, get down in the description box and get you some merch. Get down in the description box and get you some merch, man. I appreciate all the love and the support. DS1 Ross, SHEEPSTAYSLEEPTV. I'm going to catch y'all later. Peace.